Welcome back to Daytime on Rogers TV. Ladies and gentlemen, he is so many things. He is a chiropractic doctor. He is an amazing chef and now author as well. How many books have you actually written?
The first book was Maximize Living Nutrition Plans. That was 6 years ago. That was the core fundamentals for all nutrition. I followed up as a contributing author to The Cancer Killers 3 years later, which was based on the true story of a very good friend of mine who had 4 malignant brain tumors that he beat completely with holistic means, interventions, nutritionally, no chemotherapy, no drugs, no radiation, did it all naturally. And then just for fun, we've just come out with Superfood Christmas, which is close to 50 of our favorite Christmas and technically American Thanksgiving and Canadian Thanksgiving recipes as well.
Sure.
Because this is definitely the time of year when people lose all of their results. They work very hard for the rest of the year. They try to look good for summer. And then all of a sudden the fall comes and people legitimately say to me that they don't know how they can stay in good shape from Canadian Thanksgiving all the way to New Year's Eve. So we try to make it easy. So Superfood Christmas is the answer.
PJ, there are just so many temptations at this time of year because it's all about hearty foods and sweet foods, and it's just so hard.
Well, you know, I think that's why we've tried to make it easy. I mean, I definitely understand that's where the commercialization exists and that's where the temptation certainly lies. The one thing that we do see for people is though when they switch their taste buds over from commercialized, chemically processed, sugar-filled foods, they actually have difficulty switching back to those things. You know, so for me, I mean, I have a real tough time sitting down for an actual brownie. And what's amazing, Ken, is people actually find when they do cut sugar and when they eliminate a lot of the garbage, it's about 2 weeks before they switch their palate completely. But you got to give yourself 2 weeks, cold turkey, no sugar, and then it gets easy. The problem is most people never give themselves that full 2 weeks to do it.
Yeah, they try a couple of days and they sneak back and it's all over, right?
But it can be done, and the successes, you know, we've seen now for 10 years right here in the city.
All right, before we get started with, and you mentioned the magic word, are we making brownies?
We're making what we call the protein-packed brownies.
Okay.
But we're converting them into our favorite little Santa hat strawberries.
Oh, awesome.
So in Superfood Christmas, it's called Santa Strawberries. It's kind of a fun thing for the kids, you know, and it's going to use a bunch of superfoods.
All right, before we start mixing it
Yes.
up, I need you to define that for me. When you use the word superfood, what do we mean when we say superfood?
There is no definition to the word superfood.
Okay.
You know, it's actually become a very kind of trendy, fun, social term.
Yeah.
There's no classification of a food to be considered superfood, you know, but as a rule, in the world of holistic health, a superfood would be considered something that we know offers a ton of nutritional properties and really no bad properties. So certainly we could get more exotic with superfoods that you would never eat. Right now we're just focusing on some that we know have health benefits and are a little bit more everyday so that you don't have to go to Morocco to find it necessarily. You can get this stuff at the superstore.
That's good. I'm very infrequently in Morocco.
Should we start?
Absolutely.
So
what
we're going to do for our brownie base here is we actually took some flax meal. You know, so flax is incredible, high in omega-3s, good healthy fat, and it will keep you full. Okay. We're going to mix that with just an egg. Right.
So what have you already done with this?
We have already taken half a cup of flax meal,
okay,
and we've added with 2/3 of a cup of just boiling water,
okay,
just to make it into a bit more of a flax
to kind of
gel.
soften it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then we're going to add a farm egg here.
Beautiful.
Okay. Reason being, good. We want to get all that in there. Good.
Lovely.
So we can start mixing that up there. Once we were on here, we made eggnog, and we didn't quite get the egg yolk cracked, so we don't want a whole egg showing up on our brownies there. While you're doing that, we're going to take some actual grass-fed organic butter. Again, butter is not a problem. Again, we always say if it comes from a healthy source. You know, butter is something that people have survived on. Well, not survived upon butter, but they've certainly consumed for centuries without heart disease and without a lot of the problems. Butter provides CLA, which actually helps you burn fat. The problem really is margarine and all the vegetable oils.
Right.
You're doing pretty good there. That looks good.
Thank you.
So you can see how this is basically...
This is not my first brownie.
Okay, I didn't think it was your first brownie. You're looking good. I think you're doing more of the superfood brownies now.
Thank you.
What's really nice about this is when you see us actually put some pure cocoa in this, and people are always amazed that pure cocoa has no sugar. Right? So you think that cocoa should be full of sugar. Pure cocoa or even cacao is even better. This is just a little bit processed just to make it a little bit easier,
right,
but I wouldn't say it's chemically processed.
Because really, chocolate is just cocoa, a fat, and sugar, right?
Yes, this is the actual chocolate.
Awesome mess.
I'm making a mess over here. I think my butter got a little cold. when it's a little bit more, but we have a solution for that. When we have a little bit warmer butter, you get a little bit more of a fudge going here.
I like it.
We're just going to mix it all together. So this way we've got, and this is super rich too, right? So we're not adding chocolate, we're not adding sugar, we're just adding all this good stuff here.
Beautiful.
And we're making a mess here, Ken.
That's okay. The best part is I don't have to clean any of this up.
The thing that's interesting with a lot of these recipes is people are always amazed that there's actually a lot less ingredients than you think you need. You know, so people are used to using a lot of white flour, a lot of white sugar, and those are just like bulking agents that provide no nutritional content or whatsoever. So what we'll do is let's actually put that stuff in the food processor.
Oh, okay.
And and because that's going to take care of all the work, and then we have to use our muscles a whole lot less.
I was just getting into this.
Well, I know. It's good exercise, but it's thick.
Absolutely.
We're gonna mix. So let's get that in the food processor over here.
Okay. We'll drop it in.
Yeah.
Oh, here, you want to open that for me?
You know, here, and we'll use.
4 hands make light work.
Yeah, good. Let's dump that in. And
beautiful.
Then,
You can spatch.
Good. This
Lovely.
is my day in the kitchen with Ken. When's cookie day? We'll come over and we'll get everything ready for Christmas. So again, in Superfood Christmas, we have gingerbread cookies in there. We have shortbread cookies in there. Obviously, we're doing this one because it's kind of fun and cute for the kids. But we also have a lot of the other stuff in there too. We show you how to make a turkey. We show you how to select your meats. If you want to use meats, just make sure that they're from a good, healthy source.
Okay,
we're going to get the rest of all that stuff out.
All right.
Too.
So
the last thing that I want to add while you get that in there is we actually do use a grass-fed organic whey protein powder. So again, if somebody wants to use more of a plant-based protein powder, they can. The big thing though is know your source. So make sure that it's a high-quality protein powder. There's no added sugar, no garbage in there. And again, even somebody, people could play with it, use cacao and chia seeds or hemp seeds or something, but there's plenty of ways to do it. So we'll add that in there. All right. And that's why it's called protein packed brownies.
All right, here's what we're going to do because this guy is nice and loud. We'll take a quick break. We're going to whiz this up. When we come back, our batter will be all ready, and then we'll magically pop it into the daytime oven. More with Dr. B.J. Hardick when Daytime returns. Welcome back to Daytime in the Daytime Kitchen with Dr. B.J. Hardick, and we're talking Superfood Christmas, the new ebook. You mentioned just a few of the things that are inside of there. Everything, even right down to making a turkey. How do you make a turkey in the quote-unquote superfood way? Well,
the first off is you definitely want to get an animal that was raised healthfully and sustainably and not injected with a bunch of antibiotics and growth hormones and all the stuff that they do now. And then when you do the stuffing, we have 2 forms of stuffing that's in the ebook. One is like a vegetable and nut stuffing.
Okay.
And then the other one we actually use. Do you remember we made the buns, the grainless rolls here?
I do remember that.
And it had no white flour, so we actually use those. Stuff that in the turkey along with all the traditional stuff.
Instead of using all that white bread and stuffing that in there.
So there's ways to do it. And I mean, we have people over for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they would not know that it's not real stuffing. We also do the mashed potatoes, again, using no potatoes, use cauliflower as well. So there are ways to do these things.
Beautiful.
But then you got to get to dessert.
I know, right? Dessert, the whole dinner is just one progression after another to get to this, to get to the dessert.
Absolutely.
So remind us what we put to work in here.
So in there, we got our organic whey protein powder, we've got our flax meal, we've got an organic egg, we've got what else do we put in there, Ken? We used our baking soda, our baking powder. It's all in the book. I think this is page 58 of Superfood Christmas.
There you go.
And and all the other good stuff just to make it happen. So a little stevia, a little vanilla, a little salt always brings out some flavor. And honestly, you didn't think this was going to come out very good, but check it out.
It looks. You talk about how people wouldn't know the difference between your stuffing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know the difference between this and regular.
You're ready to stick your finger in there. So
it's all over.
We're just going to take this. And this should come out real nicely. We use this into a nice, silicone as a little baking container works quite well. It's fairly inert, it's non-toxic. We don't use plastics or anything like that if we can avoid it. Glass would even be better,
Right.
And some of the the Pampered Chef materials are quite good as well. Some of these more inert materials. But again, we like using these because they're also very, moldable. So here, just spread this around a little bit.
And today we're putting we're not coating this with anything. Would you normally?
Well, this is just going to be. What do you mean coating? Oh, no, I wouldn't coat this at all. This is the nice thing about this type of material. So again, it's not one of those plastics that's going to leach into your food, which is good. But it's actually going to cook real well. So once we put that in the oven. The daytime oven over here.
The magical mystery daytime oven.
It comes out baked just like this. So here's where you have fun with the kids.
Okay.
Right? You definitely want to.
It's got to be fun.
You know, you can have one of these little guys, or you know what? A lot of times from proteins and chia seed powders and all these things, you can get these little guys. So we legitimately just go on here, and we get some nice little caps.
Oh wow!
Right?
That is so easy.
It is so easy. Right? And this is, of course, you got to make good use of your surface area here, so you don't waste anything.
Absolutely.
You want as many as you can to make the most out of it.
Yeah, because you know what happens to the rest, right? Nom, 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 nom.
Well, yeah. And this isn't one so much, sometimes you have leftovers, you can put it back in and, work it again. I'm not so sure about this. This isn't like gingerbread cookies where you can mash it all together and make more.
I don't know.
So you can see how easy it is.
That is very simple. Okay, so now we've got our...
For the rest of Santa Claus over here, I mean, it gets pretty easy. Again, we use an organic whipped cream, right? These things are great. I mean, you get a little bit of CO2 in here. These things aren't expensive. Yeah. You can also get a bag, right? And just get the end of a Ziploc bag, cut the top off and squirt it out.
That's what I like to do. Well, and when you look at the difference between, or cream and whipping it yourself and the stuff that they call whipped topping, oh man, it's frightening.
They don't use the word cream, it's just topping. It's like butter at the movie theater. They can't actually call it butter, it's just called topping or covering because they can't refer to it as butter.
Yeah.
Just again, make sure it's organic because again, non-organic dairy can come from all kinds of sources, have a bunch of stuff in there you don't want.
All right.
So we're just going to get a little bit of, there we go.
Lovely.
How we doing here?
Looks beautiful.
And this is just our little base here. So for each of these, again, there's nothing better than a nice, fresh, organic strawberry. Strawberries certainly are one of those fruits that we urge people to do get organic. Because again, if it's not organic, it can be sprayed with quite a few pesticides. So strawberry is definitely on the list of ones where you want to get, it's called one of the dirty dozen. So of all the fruits and vegetables, you don't have to get organic all the time, but you at least want you want to get organic the ones that are sprayed the most. And last little bit, here's our little challenge, get a tiny little tip of.
Can he do it? Oh, lovely hat.
There we go.
A beautiful Santa hat.
And there you go. Good. You set these out and they're perfect.
Not only are they a superfood, they look amazing, and I can't wait to taste. I'm going to wait till the end of the show because I want to go to town on these guys. Where can we get the book?
Just go to drhardick.com. It's a free gift to all of our fans and subscribers. Very simple sign up for our weekly health newsletter. You'll get Superfood Christmas as a download, and it's all right there.
So it's a free book?
It's a free book. It's just for fun for the holidays.
Beautiful. drhardick.com or 519-673-1132.
Have one now, Ken.
Should I have one now?
Have one right now while they're nice and fresh out of my machine.
I'll tell you what, before I stuff this into my mouth, I will remind us all that coming up next, we'll be checking in with our London Nationals. The spotlight on John Warren, who has been injured, but he's back. I can't even talk because literally my mouth is watering so much, BJ. Thank you so much for this.
Glad to be here.
You want one?
Hope to come on back again. Absolutely.
All right. Santa Brownie, cheers.
I don't know if you can cheers these.
Cheers, you can. There we go. We're back with more daytime right after I eat this. Mmm.